friends, I'm back again, and we're going to continue with our second segment of this webinar, bringing your A game to Arts Advocacy. So let's talk about the art of agency. What does it mean to be a social agent? Well, social agency refers to the ability or capability of individuals, institutions, or organizations to act, to have an influence, or to transform and invoke change. That is the true definition of advocacy. But you have to have people to do that. You have to have people who are invested to do that. Let's take a look at some of our essential questions for the art of agency. One, who can I connect with? Guess what? Everybody. You can connect with anybody and everybody with your cause if you know how to have the art of gathering down pat. So don't discredit anybody as being a potential advocate for your cause. When we're talking about gathering people, after we gather them, we have to continuously influence others to join. We have to continue to catch them. This is where your cause moves from emotion to viability and sustainability. This is a problem that many educators have. I'm raising my hand. I was one of them. We go in the lounge and we complain about this thing that everybody agrees is a problem. And then it never leaves that lounge. Why doesn't it leave? Because we're emotional about it, so much so that we can't move to the next step, viability. Who's going to help bring validity to what we're speaking about? Well, the people that's in our social agency. They're going to be people that are influencers for the cause. They're going to be people who are knowledgeable about these topics or even the subtopics behind it. And so when we're building agency with those people, we have to approach it like as a checklist. I kind of think of it like this. When you watch a girl trip movie, and I love the girl trip movies, each person has a specific purpose that adds to the element of why they are all together. They have a unified cause in most cases. Unfortunately, sometimes it's, to get in a lot of trouble. But they're unified behind it. But every single person has their own personality and information that they bring to this cause. Well, at the top of the list, you have to think about evidence and who's going to bring evidence, who's going to be the law. Speaking of law, in the court of law, you must prove your case that is worthy to be heard. And no person in their right mind goes to court without a lawyer. So what does that mean? You need somebody who is a head person in that category of knowing the facts, knowing the laws, knowing the rules, the regulations behind it. They have to be able to be the lawyer of the group. Hey, this is not only is this cause something we need to talk about, there's some illegal practices probably tied into this that we can really make a big fuss about. Then you have to also have the person who is collecting data, the person who has access to data. In a school system, that might be the person that collects attendance data. They know the why, they know the what, and most importantly, they have the numbers. When I first started in advocacy, a lot of the problems that we were trying to solve didn't have data behind it. We had to find that person. And ironically, I ended up being that person in a lot of cases because I was on the grassroots end of it. I was on the front line. I was in front of students every day, and I had that empirical evidence behind the cause. They don't have resources. I have 120 students in band and only 60 instruments. Those are hard numbers. Also, when you get these sources, it will come even more easy if you're not the only one collecting it. So here's a list of people that you need to be able to have in your social network. You need financial supporters, patrons, donors, people who will continuously fund your cause, who will be able to put money behind the things we need to do. Sometimes doing research requires an outside party and you have to pay them. Well, having financial supporters or people who know how to get money, grant writing, those people need to be part of your social agency. You need government officials. You need people who will sign on things. You also need educational leadership, especially in the arts. You want the who's who in that field to be your spokesperson. They have all the facts. That's the teacher. That is the fine arts department chair. That is the arts coordinator. You need field experts. You need people who study this craft and know the ins and outs. You need strategists, people who can think and plan and put plans together. It doesn't necessarily have to be you. You also need community organizers. You need people who, back to the art of gathering, can gather other people behind the cause. You need volunteers of all sorts and pretty much any dedicated stakeholder. From this, your social agents will start to create something called a steering committee and board of directors if needed, if your cause reaches such a pivotal point that it just needs to be an organization. And that's going to lead me to our next segment, the art of media. So in segment 3, you're going to learn about why social media and media in general is important in your advocacy.